Here's something I found on Google Maps that has me curious. It's not far from a state park, and although it shows up sometime after 1960, it's been getting reclaimed by nature in more recent times. Is this an abandoned house? Is it actively used? Is it even accessible? There's only one way to find out, so come along with me. This is a public trail we're walking on. Had a crossover bridge. There's a creek to our left, and we have, as you can see, farmland to the right. And we're heading past all this, deeper into the woods, because that's where our proposed target is. I actually have no cell service here either, but I did download the maps offline, and my GPS will still work with it, so I can still see where I'm going. I do have the coordinates for this location as well. Looks like a pretty good sized cornfield. And we are inching ever so closer to that mountainside over there. I don't hear the water so much anymore. I guess it's diverting away. I do want to show you though a 1960 map image. And I'm going to circle on the screen where this item would be. Obviously there's nothing there. But as we fade into 1992, there it is. So this structure, this location, as I said, was built sometime after 1960. And as we already saw, has been getting reclaimed by nature over the decades. Now it does make me wonder, since this property is not extremely old, it's around 60 years old, give or take a year or two, as to why it would be getting reclaimed by nature. It could just be deceiving, as the map images can sometimes do that, or it could have been past its lifetime and now it's just a forgotten property. But I did speak too soon. The creek actually ended up coming close by to us again, so I wanted to just give you a brief look at it here. Seems like a nice area, down tree in the water, and the water is surprisingly clear given the time of year. Usually it's pretty cloudy and murky from all the runoff from the spring thaw. But looks pretty pristine compared to other locations we've seen this year. A little bit breezy out today. It's about 35 degrees. Slightly chilly, but not terrible. I just noticed something on the tree over here. Something's hanging. Ah, okay. Pennsylvania State Park boundary. I never seen that before. It's like a tin sign. And as you can see, we are ending the farmland, heading more into the wilderness, more what we're used to. Now look on the left-hand side, stone wall. Probably an old property boundary for the farmland. They typically constructed these as dividers between farmland and adjoining properties. So the farmland terminates right here. As you can see, the landscape climbs significantly over there. I don't know if that's where we have to go, but the trail that we've been following from that direction continues over here now, much closer to the water. So we're gonna keep following the trail. We do know this is gonna take us about 75% of the way, and a little bit further, I'm going to pull up GPS, Google Maps, see where I'm at in location in relation to our target. And if need be, we may have to climb upwards, ascend that small mountain, and hopefully it'll bring us to the right area. But just one more peek of this water. Look at this area here. This is absolutely gorgeous. This water is nice and clear. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is stocked with trout. So, nice, good fishing area for trout season. So our trail continues that way, but I'm also noticing, looks like a switchback going up that way. So let me pull up my location, because we may or may not have to go that way. So I do see my location on the trail next to the creek, and our location, our target, is somewhere up there. I was hoping it wasn't, but that does appear to be the case. So we're going to press ahead a bit further, see if there is a more direct trail going to it. Otherwise, if not, well, I'm going to be getting a workout today, climbing that pretty steep grade. So a lot of huffing and puffing possibly coming. This is a stunning area. Loving this section of trail, right next to the water, nice and cleared out. Even if we don't succeed with our target, this is a win right here. Be nice to come here and relax, especially if you're a fisherman. Since we're doing a Google Maps investigation, I did want to briefly mention something, because over the past 1 to 2 months, I've been getting some comments saying, how come you don't do Google Maps investigations? Those are some of my favorite types of videos. Well, I have been doing them. In the last 6 months, I believe I've done 4 or 5 different Google Maps investigations. So if you haven't seen them, I will put the playlist down below, which has all my Google Maps investigations, including the ones you may have missed. I'm gonna take a little break here and check my position. I'm pretty sure though, we need to just go straight up. Yeah, if anything, we're a little bit past it. It is pretty much over there, but we have a steep climb ahead of us. So just be forewarned, I'm not gonna probably film a whole lot on the way up unless we find something. And when I do come back on camera, I may be a little bit out of breath. But we have no choice but to go up, so hopefully it's there and it's accessible. Taking a little break part way up, heart is pounding. It's steep, it's slippery. But I'm wondering, how are they getting up here? There has to be road or access somewhere, but it's definitely not the way that we're going, but maybe we'll find out. Once we get up there and I see a beautiful rock covered in nature's carpet. Well, we climbed several hundred feet, pretty steep. And we kind of plateaued, but it does keep rising in elevation back there. Heart rate is jumping right now. Let's see, where are we? Well, we are making progress, so I do see it on the maps here. And looks like should be somewhere in that general direction, whether it's on this plateau or up on that second elevation change. I'm thinking up there. Well, that was a workout and a half. We have really risen in elevation. We're almost clear even on the other side over there. We're on top of a small mountain. And I have good news and potentially not good news. The good news is that I found the structure. It's behind me. Potential bad news is I did see some orange ribbon and orange fluorescent paint on a couple trees as I was approaching this area. And one thing that didn't show up on maps is that structure right there. That appears to be a home. I have no clue if this is an active site or not. The barn structure's there. It looks somewhat in rough shape from here, but I can't really tell. And I don't know if anyone's inside. I don't know if this is like a hunting cabin, a summer home. I truly don't know. So I'm going to proceed cautiously. The last thing I want to do is intrude on someone's private property, although all property is owned by someone. If this is abandoned, it's not going to really matter too much. But if it is active, if I see posted signs or any signs of people actively using this site currently, we're going to turn around and be respectful. But I'm going to proceed closer, analyze the situation, and we'll make a decision from there. Okay, I'm a little bit closer. I do see an open or broken window in the loft area. To me, that's kind of good news. Because if someone's there, I don't see why they have a window open when it's cold outside. Also, I think I found an outhouse. But I am noticing the lawn around it looks pretty maintained. So I'm thinking this is someone's hunting home or summer home, and I'm not going to try to proceed inside. But it appears no one's here, so we'll just kind of respectfully take a look. Yeah, that's either a smoker or an outhouse. This is pretty remote. How are they getting here? I think from what I'm finding on Google Maps, there might be a road coming through farmland. There's a way for a vehicle to get out here somehow, just not the way we came. Yeah, it's not as abandoned and overgrown and reclaimed by nature as I thought. This grass is cut, but as far as I can tell, there's no one here presently. There's snow on the front porch. The windows open up on top. I'm thinking this is a summer location or possibly for hunting. Even the barn itself, windows are intact, roof looks pretty good. So it's not abandoned by any stretch of the means. I'm going to show you a screenshot just to confirm that we are at the right location. There's no shadow of a doubt we're here. House doesn't show up, the barn does. I will say on the way up here though, I didn't cross any fences. I didn't see any posted signs, nothing saying we couldn't come up here. I basically just went off the public trail, ascended upwards, and we arrived here. Since this is not a truly abandoned location, I'm not going to be nosy. I'm not even going to bother looking inside there. Just kind of want to observe from a distance. Looks like tulips might be coming up here, or bulbs, if you know what they are. I mean, I know you know what tulips and bulbs are, but as to which one they are. So I'm just going to go right over here by the tree line. I'm not going to even go any further onto the property, but just to show you, the window is completely open up on top. There's a chair on the porch. There's firewood. There's chairs in the distance. Looks like some burn barrels here. So we were mistaken. It's not abandoned after all. Well, that is how it goes sometimes. You truly don't know what you're going to find until you set out to find it and know firsthand what we're looking at. It's a win that the location's here and we found it. It wasn't a strikeout. We were able to get really close to it without being deterred by fencing or signs. So look at the bright side, we landed on our target. Now, even though Google Maps is a great tool and it's brought me to a lot of great locations, sometimes it can be deceiving, as in this case. Although it appeared to be overgrown by nature, yeah, nature's reclaiming it from when it was first built probably 40, 50 years ago, but it's by no means a lost, forgotten property. It's the right thing to do to turn back and not press my luck and to live to explore another day, so to speak. I spoke way too soon. So we were meant to come out here for a reason. And I don't think it's to document that property up there. I think it's for something found accidentally off to my right. Don't know what it is, but it is something that existed at one time, created by man. I noticed this depression and this clearing. Didn't think much of it, but then I noticed, looks like either foundations or walls or something that are too perfectly cut to be natural. So we may have stumbled upon something that existed right here at one time. This is what I spotted. 1, 2, at least 3, looks like pads or walls or something. Now, if these are natural, well, nature did a fantastic job of fooling me, because these look too evenly cut, even though it's a little bit jagged over there. That's almost a straight line. It kind of reminds me of this rock here, like they may have broken it away to place something here. Like, why would this be cut out the way it is? So without any proof, obviously, I think something was here at one time. Maybe not a structure, but this area was cleared out and used for some reason, probably a long, long time ago. And like I said, I'm walking on stone slabs. I'm confirming it's stone, not concrete, not cinder block. It is stone, just like this. But why are they over here? So, don't know what we found. Nothing significant, but we wouldn't have found this if we didn't come searching for that location up there. So, I call that a win in my book. I will bring you down though, just give you a couple close-up details. Some icicles, nature's carpet, and some of these slabs. And if you have any insight as to what you think this could have been used for, I'm all ears. So as you look from down here, you can see this wall is almost perfectly flat. I mean, watch out for those loose rocks. You know, there's not really many imperfections here. Although I don't see it being drilled or blasted or anything like that. It does appear though to be more than just natural. Here are those slabs, like I said, almost like a perfect rectangle. That outer side is a little bit jagged. So there's the exposed corner right there. It appears to be that same material right there. So why are they here? How'd they get here? Your guess is as good as mine, but I don't think they got here on their own. I mean, these are probably at least 500-pound stones here, and they're at least between 5 and 15 feet away from there. It's a really lush area though. Plenty of shade, wet conditions. Even the ground right here is saturated. Wonder maybe if there was like a water source here back in the day, but I think we're too high in elevation for that. Usually you find that lower. But regardless, this was a little bonus find. Even if we don't have any details on it, it still offers some really neat formations. But I'm about 70-30 man was involved with this area in some capacity or another. We are back down on the trail. Where we ascended was further back in that direction. I came down at an angle, and coming down was a heck of a lot easier and quicker than going up. I certainly got a workout in today, broke out into a pretty good sweat. I'm gonna say today's Google Finds target investigation was a combination of a win and a fail. I say fail because it's not abandoned. We couldn't get inside, we couldn't explore it on our own because it's clear it's not abandoned. It's a semi-regularly used private property. And although it wasn't posted or fenced or anything like that, I feel I did the right thing by turning back and observing it from the distance that we did. But it's a win because it's there. We seeked out to find it, and we got there and confirmed what it is. But for me, finding that was good, but finding that other area was just a little bit more fascinating just because we don't know anything about that area. We don't know if man carved out those slabs and they were part of a structure, maybe I don't even want to speculate. It could have been anything, but I am more than confident that that area was used by man at some time because that wall is almost too perfectly flat and the slabs don't belong there. They're not there naturally. So although it's just, you know, rock and nature's carpet and icicles today, it does have a story to tell, I think. It's more than just a natural formation, in my opinion. I could be completely way off, but I'd say more than half the time, my intuition is correct, and I feel like that was something that we stumbled upon, that we got to document that we didn't know was there if it wasn't for finding our original target. So aside from that, this trail, this creek, fantastic area. I mean, it was a great day to come out. Slightly on the cooler side, although I'm sweating right now from that ascent up the top of the hill there. It was good to get out, get some footsteps, and do another investigation. Like I said, I have still been doing them, not as frequently as I have in the past, but I have done a handful of them in the last 4 to 6 months. So check the playlist down below. You'll be able to find all of them there, both old and new. I do have more of them planned for the warmer months. One I teased a while back that's in Centralia. So it's gonna be something similar to this, where it's a structure off the highway in somewhat a remote area of woods. So that's coming up. And then I do have 1 or 2 more I'm kind of checking out to see how I'm gonna get there, because it looks like there's no close parking and it may be a more difficult location to access than usual. So anyways, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what you've seen today, whether it be the trail, that summer property, or the rock formations that I think are more than just natural. Share your thoughts down below. Love to hear them. Otherwise, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.